New year now in the garden, and there's always something to be getting on with, always jobs to be done here in Neath, South Wales. January can be a very bleak time in the garden, but I'm glad to say there's still plenty of evergreens here, adding some interest. I've cut down the grasses there, the arundodonaks, as they were swaying about in the wind, and I didn't really want to damage the roots. So I trimmed them back, ready for next year's growth. What I want to do today is swap this pittosporum golf ball into another container, and the one that I'm going to use is this one here in front of the greenhouse. I have no idea what this is, but it does give lovely pink flowers in the summer, and as it's died back now for the winter, I was thinking of having something evergreen just outside the greenhouse. And I do really like this pot here, although it could do with a good clean. So I'm going to put the evergreen pittosporum into here and move this one up by the back door. Is it coming off? Good. I have closed all the windows. Yeah, underneath that part of the tree. Always gets dirty there. Give it a good clean. So I've been out now and given the garden a good mulching, and actually I found the rake that I needed at the back of the shed. So now I can just rake over it and get it as level as I can. And that now is a job done for the winter. So I've swapped this one over now and placed it by the back door and given this area a good clean and washed that dirty terracotta pot, and that now has got the nice evergreen pittosporum. And that's lovely colours on them leaves, really beautiful. I'm enjoying all the colours in the Belfast sink, and there's a lovely selection there. Skimmia, Mahonia and some ivies, and also some nice pink cyclamen, and that just gives some lovely colour just out by the back door. The centre bed now in front of the greenhouse. I have never seen that looking so bare. Normally you can't see any earth at all throughout the summer months. I have also just tidied up the wildlife pond a little bit, and that was overrun with the mind your own business plant. So I've cleared it out as much as I can, and what I've done is I just took it out of the pond and just placed it on the ground there, and I'm hoping that that'll grow now in the spring when the weather warms up. So just moving along the border slightly, you can see under there that I've also just added a little bit more of that mind your own business and just dotted it around. It's quite shady here in this part of the garden, so I've just dotted it around in amongst the plants. And just at the back there, by the pear tree, and that's really shady in there. And the ground always seems to stay quite moist, so hopefully that'll take hold now in the spring and grow back, giving a nice ground cover. So I'm loving the new bark chippings in this centre bed. Nobody really likes to look at bare earth in the winter, so that'll give it now a nice coat of protection from the winter frosts, and also is a little bit nicer to look at. The bananas are still tucked up there with their yoghurt pots on the top. And overall the garden's looking very good. Still nice and green. I do try to brush up quite regular and keep the pathways looking nice and fresh. And I'm loving this plant at the moment with the pink tinges on the edges of the leaves. Look at that. That's really nice. And the Euphorbia mellifera. That's looking good too in the garden. Just coming into flower. And we've also got some buds coming on this year. There's one yellow flower there. Just starting to come into bud. Very early though. It's quite a mild day today for January. So I have come out and just taken off the protective fleece just for an hour or so, just to give the centre of this tree fern a little bit of fresh air, as it is quite unusually warm for this time of year. And they're still looking lovely and green at the moment, but it's still early days. Still got a few months to get through yet. And these crocosmia bulbs are pushing through the ground already, and it's only January. I also trimmed back the Euphorbia silver swan, and if you remember, this was the one that was a bit misshapen and was growing all to one side, so I trimmed back all the old growth, and that's got plenty of fresh growth now that was at the bottom, so hopefully this can fill out ready for spring. The little palm tree that I've got sheltering in here for the winter months, that's still doing well, and it's doing a lot better than it was outside, because it wasn't doing well at all in the garden. This one has been in the ground, it's been in different pots, but it definitely needs the protection of the greenhouse, I think, for the moment. And look who's just turned up in the garden. Hello, Vim. Vimmy. He's a good boy. What you doing? Coming to have a little look in the garden. Having a little nose. Nice to see you outside. Spends most of his days now in the warm, in the bedroom. He doesn't like the winter. Don't you? Like to stay nice and warm, don't you, boy? Are you listening? I think you are. I also just want to move this grass from here, as it's also just in front of the Euphorbia, and the Euphorbia does get quite big. So I want to dig this up and move it to another part of the garden. And this is a Carex grass. So I have finished now the mulching in this small triangular bed, and I think by moving that grass now it'll give the Trachycarpus a little bit of a better chance to grow, and I think it looks a lot neater now in this section. I've piled it up around the bottom of the bananas to try and insulate the roots, but it does look an awful lot better. I've placed the grass underneath the Trachycarpus and the Tetrapanax there, because I did have a big phormium there that was growing over the pathway, and I just moved the phormium over to that side, where there it'll have a lot more space to grow and won't be being brushed past when I'm walking past it all the time. And I think the balance now looks a lot better as you walk down the pathway. So thank you very much for joining me in the garden today for this first video in January 2025. And there'll be lots more updates throughout the year. So see you all soon, and bye for now.